What in their
I
seats?
replanted 700 acres last year. Sure did.
Like to give everybody a good report this week on the COVID situation. The Barron River Health Department was showing from Friday to Friday. This came in last Friday. That we just had 14 cases here in Logan County, and Logan County's green. The governor's report that came out yesterday was from Monday to Monday, and there was only 7 in this one. So I guess the difference in the 2 or 3 days makes a difference, and it made a difference in the count. So that's a good report, and Logan County's in the green at this time, so that's a blessing. But we do have other neighbors and friends that have lost loved ones and suffering from other things, and we need to remember those folks. And Scotty, would you like to do a prayer this morning?
Let's pray. Lord, we thank you for this wonderful day that you've given us, and Lord, thank you for the many blessings that you bestow on this county and your whole world, Lord, especially with this COVID. We just thank you that you've allowed our cases to come down, Lord, and our people in our county that are not as sick as we were a few weeks ago, so we do thank you for that. Lord, we just ask that you would do in our military, and we're still navigating through the problems around our world, Lord, that you would interject in that, and Lord, just it would be your will to straighten all this out, and we would have a peaceful world. Lord, just ask you to be with this meeting today, all our leaders in our county, state, and federal, that you would give them the answers that would also be pleasing to you, Lord. I ask all this in your name. Amen.
Okay, let's all meet together with the pledge of the American flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, there's a few agenda changes. One of them just happened this morning when I saw the mayor from Adairsville. Good to see you, Mayor. Donna Blake's here with us, and if it pleases the court, I would like to let Donna address the court right after Denise Shoulders with the Archives Department. And then at the bottom of the is number 9, consider bond documents. And number 10 is to allow us to go ahead and put out the annual bids for the next meeting. So I'd like to have a amendment to the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the changes in the agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay, questions or concerns? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport?
Yes.
Crossley?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Harper?
Yes.
Kyle?
Yes.
Golden?
Yes.
Chick?
Yes. Okay, I'd like to go ahead and welcome everybody to Logan County Fiscal Court. If I didn't go ahead and do those amendments, I might have forgot. But again, we'd like to welcome everybody here this morning, and hope you enjoy your day here. First thing is the approval of the minutes from the last court meeting.
Judge, make a motion that we accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
Okay, got a motion second on the minutes. Now, is there any questions? Okay, if not, let's have roll call.
Davenport?
Yes.
Crossley?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Harper?
Yes.
Kyle?
Yes.
Golden?
Yes.
Chick?
Yes. Okay, Denise, if you'd like to come forward and address the court.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for letting me speak to you. I'm here on behalf of the Genealogical Society. We would like to have inserted in the building If you look in your packet, I think you should have something that says Patterson Pope on it. What we are wanting to do is increase the shelving in the jail, the old jail, so that we have space to organize the records that we have still not been able to work through. Currently, they are still kept in the old metal boxes that used to be in the county clerk's office. And in order for us to make them more searchable for researchers, we open them up so that they're more flat and we put them in folders. If we can continue to do that, we're going to run out of space in the building. So we want to get this put in place, but I'm here because I want to make sure that we go through the right channels to get this done, and if we need more bids, then we can make that happen. And mainly, I'm here just to ask for your support for this project because I would like to apply for a grant to get this done.
So are these shelving, is this like, specially designed for
This
what
will-
you want to do?
Correct. This will be similar to the mobile shelving that was installed into the new courthouse. So the shelves collapse down on each other, but they open up so that you can access the records that you need. So instead of having a shelf here and 3 foot of wasted space and then another shelf, you're using that wasted space for more shelving, and then they roll as you need to access.
I'd definitely suggest getting a couple more bids.
Yeah, we might have to, right, Judge?
What's that?
We need a couple more quotes on that.
Well, what she's showing you there,
Oh, it's a good brand, okay.
what she's showing you there is what you would like to apply for this grant for.
Yeah.
Now, Denise and myself already talked, and we're gonna have to try to put out, get some quotes,
Yeah.
other quotes, on that amount of money. But that'll be a little bit later, you know, if she finds out she gets the grant, then that's when we will address
So,
that.
do we need to, is there a match? 10%, 20%?
I don't know necessarily. I don't know if we need to disclose where she's, you know, gonna apply it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, you know, she might apply for 10,000.
Yeah.
They might just give $7,500.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, if that's what you're,
Yeah.
The representative with this company said that if we, as the society and/or the county, could take on some of the work for this, for instance, one of the things they suggested was if we have a warehouse that this equipment could be delivered to, then they wouldn't have a truck tied up waiting for it to be unloaded. Those sorts of things would bring the cost down. So some of the things that are in this, whatever they might be, and he said that he is more than happy to come and talk to you guys and explain more about that. But he said if we as the county and the Genealogical Society were willing to take on some of these responsibilities, that it would bring the price down.
okay, our administrative code, and we didn't go through all this, but anything above $9.99, we have to try to at least get 2 quotes. Okay?
So $999?
Anything above $999.
Gotcha.
Okay, now, and I think it jumped to $2,500, that you gotta get 3 quotes, either 2,000 or 2,500, I can't exactly remember what it is, you got to try to get 3 quotes.
Okay.
So,
Anything over 30, we got to put out for bid. Yeah, so we're right there under that.
Right there.
and
Yeah.
then we can make it a decision on anything between that and $4,999, I think.
Okay.
Now-
So then you guys need me to get a couple of more quotes for this?
Well-
Or did you guys do that? What is the proper process for this?
You need permission to go for the grant, though, really is what you're asking, even the price.
I think so, because I think having the support of the county to do this may go a long way in getting the grant.
So we need to make sure that we do that, and we're gonna partner with, if everybody's agreeing, we're gonna partner with you, and then other quotes can come after that then.
So we just need to vote on allowing Judge Chick to sign a grant. I make a motion that we allow Judge Chick to work with Ms. Shoulders and when she applies for grants, and allow Judge Chick to sign that grant as far as our participation goes.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and second, more or less support, and allow me to sign anything that needs to happen, if they get the grant. Any questions, concerns? This will end up being county property anyhow, I guess. 'Cause it'll be
Probably
in
so,
our
since
building,
it's
it'll
going
be
into the old jail
permanently
and it's
installed.
a county building.
Yeah.
Okay,
You guys are awesome, thank you.
if there's no other questions,
Thank you.
let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Powell.
Yes.
Logan,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, Miss Donna?
I'm here like every year to ask for money for the park. I think it's usually $8,000 what you all give. If you want to give more, that's wonderful. This year, we're open to anything above $8,000.
I thought it'd be a little less.
No. We've got the Baptist Church in Adairville's partnering with us this year to do a lot of the manpower. We're going to buy our mulch from Logan County High School to help them out. It's a little bit higher than we could get a truckload in there from, but we want to help the community. We're going to be building a gaga ball pit, also a pickleball court. I don't know what that is exactly, but it's kind of like tennis, only it's got four. Well, you can't get out of that spot, I think. But it may be something I can do. I can't go across the tennis court, but I might, defend my little area. But anyway, we just want to get our share of the money this year. And I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Anything you all can do. And
Yeah, we appreciate you coming and asking for it, and appreciate having specific projects that you want to do with it.
yeah.
8,000.
We also want to increase our walking. It seems like the walking track is getting the biggest thing right now, but it's kind of a level walking track, and some of the older adults want to have, like, where they go downhill and uphill. If
How you
kinda
gonna
gets
do
your-
that?
Huh?
You gonna put in mounds or something?
Well, see, if we did it around the perimeter of the park,
Yeah,
it's kind of, yeah.
okay.
I've mowed that several times this year, or last year. I hadn't mowed it this year, but it's, it could get pretty easy to go down in a valley like.
That's gonna happen this weekend, though.
Pardon?
Mowing's gonna start this coming
Oh, I
weekend.
know. And I helped out several times last year. That's a big part. But anything you all can do, I appreciate.
Do you need a
Well, I'll
motion
put the
for
motion for the
I
park for
I think we need a
8,000.
motion to go ahead and be able to write the check for $8,000 for the request.
Okay, I didn't hear you, I'm sorry. I didn't know if we needed a motion or if that was a budgeted thing, you just do it. I second his motion.
We don't get it unless they
That's right.
So who made the motion?
I did.
The main reason that this is in the budget this way, for them to come request it with a project or something in mind, is because Jack might be over there and he might see it. But now Jason needs to know what you're planning on spending the money on.
Gotcha.
And if he goes through a Darrell, he can go by and say, well, that looks good. You know what I'm talking about, you know. So that's the main reason for putting it in the budget as, that you have to request it.
We've really tried to reinvent things because kids apparently don't play ball anymore.
It's a gaga ball.
In their little towns, they go for the travel ball and stuff.
Yeah.
So, we've tried to be thinking of things we could do with the park, because the park's beautiful and it can be used
That's
for
a
so
nice
many
park.
other things. So the Baptist church said, hey, can we help? I said, you sure can. We're gonna buy the
That's a good
materials
deal.
and they're gonna build the stuff.
Good deal.
Awesome.
That's great. Great
Thank you.
communication.
Appreciate it. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Can I say something else too?
Sure.
At Lead last month, Thomas brought up the part about doing bonds for Silicon Ranch, and maybe the money generated from that would go to help Lead and IDA. Well, I jumped on the bandwagon because I thought if y'all don't do it, Daryl may. Because we could use the money every month, but my auditor hadn't got back with me, so it's Thomas's idea. I think we're passing a big opportunity up if y'all don't do that. And if you don't, you know, I'm hoping he'll get back with me pretty soon. So we
Well,
may.
it's not my idea. I appreciate you, you know, your support, but, you know, it wasn't my idea. It was something Silicon Ranch is offering to do.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think we should.
But I've
capture
checked
that.
into it, and it sounds like a really good thing, and I know LEAD and IDA can use the money, because, you know, we have a tight budget there that, you know, and I see that our county needs, like, you go to other cities and they've got nice industrial parks. Well, I'm not saying the West Industrial Park's not nice, but it's not developed. Like, you know, ones that you go to Franklin and see. But I just wanted to say I support that, and I don't know how you all feel about it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Tom.
Okay, we had a motion and a second to grant this request and to be able to go ahead and write the check at the next meeting. Any questions? Okay, if there's no question, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, next item of business is the bill list and the supplemental bill list.
Motion to approve the bill list and supplemental bill list as presented.
Second.
Okay, got a motion second to approve the bill list and the supplemental bill list.
Well, I read it last night, though.
Any questions?
I've got a question for the sheriff. Explain to me the expense of this vehicle.
Which one? Which one?
On page 1, down at Hunts Ford Chrysler, where we spent $3,600 on that Ford car.
No.
What happened? Is it worth that much?
Oh, yeah, it's a very good car. The transmission went out in it. It has the all-wheel drive tires on it, and 2 of the tires was not working with the other 2 sets, and it tore it up. So, yeah, I mean, it had to be fixed.
What model vehicle is it, and how many miles it got on it?
I'm not sure. It should say it on the bill. I don't remember offhand.
Jack, this here was, Ford was only 1457.
Yeah. I was looking down here. This one.
That was a total of all of them,
Yeah.
Jason counting there and the oil changes too.
Yeah.
That's not for just that one car.
Yeah, that was, the 1457 was the Hunt.
Like $1,500, I think.
Okay. Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
Okay, any other questions on the bill list? Okay, not hearing any, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, treasurer report, Amanda.
Good morning, Court.
Good morning.
I don't have a lot for you this morning. I do have a list of budget transfers in your folders that we need to approve.
Make a motion to approve the budget transfers as presented.
Second.
Okay, got a motion second to approve the budget transfers. Any questions? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
We have 2 cash transfers today. Today, we need to transfer $110,000 from the occupational net profits tax fund to the jail fund.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, got a motion second on the cash transfer. Question? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
And we need to transfer $65,000 from the occupational net profits tax fund to the 911 fund.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, got a motion second again on the cash transfers. Or questions? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
That's all I have for you this morning.
Thank you, Amanda. Road work request, Tyler.
You're right, I misread that.
I was just helping you. Sorry.
District 1, up there, the Ridgetop subdivision. Where's Kelly?
Kelly's
Talking
right
about-
back there.
A lot of the stop signs are faded to where you can't even see them. I thought maybe we can just go through that neighborhood, you'll see a bunch of them that are, I don't have every road name, but there's a bunch of them that are to where you can't hardly see them. And then, continue evaluating the water on Slim Collins, where it's coming over the road still a little bit. I know y'all been working on that, appreciate it. And, some ditch work on Kim's Court, I saw that y'all have already taken care of that, looks good, I appreciate it. And other than that, continue maintenance, appreciate everything.
District 2, everything's good. Appreciate what y'all do.
Everything's good in District 3. The Kings Ford, where the rock was in there, we still need to look at it a little bit right there on that. But just continue maintenance. Appreciate all the hard work.
District 4, needs some shoulder on Westbury Area Road. It's in the woods when you first turn on and go down the road, each side that's pretty bad, last couple rains. And then, no rush on this, but sometime in the future on Iron Mountain Road where we paved where it was gravel, I'd like to get some riprap put on the edge of that road, because I feel like as that water keeps coming over that road 3 or 4 times a year, it might make that asphalt yeah, where that tile is. So, but everything else looks good. Thank you for all the hard work.
District 5, same thing, everything's good, thanks.
Kelly, District 6, I'd like for you to check in where we looked at on J. Wilson Road and maybe get you and the judge to ask the homeowners permission on each side to get that entrance. It's falling over, and we've had a request, as you know, to get those removed. Being it is an entranceway, I feel like we probably need to ask the landowners permission to remove those, cut those 2 little sapling trees out, and then actually widen that, just a little bit, there. And likewise, I'd like to see about doing the same at West Valley Drive. That may require us asking more than just the landowners. We probably need to ask the people who developed the subdivision, in this case, Charles Lawson, I believe, was the developer at the time. He still lives in the back, and I'd like to see those removed and widened as well, because it's getting to where two vehicles can't be there at the same time.
Thomas,
Yes?
I think it's his wife now. I think he passed last year.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did not know that. So, yeah, it may be Mrs. Lawson, so that you'll be dealing with, and then just the people who live up and down that direction. Somebody hit it last winter, maybe, or early this year.
The rock wall.
The rock wall.
Yeah, the problem with it is that it's not big enough for 2 cars to pass through it. So.
At the same time, yeah. That's the problem we're having with both of those, and they get hit. So they just need to be removed. They become in a visibility, and if you live on 100 now, like I do, I know, I'll wait for 15 vehicles to pass before I can go to the mailbox. So you can imagine pulling out, and if you're not familiar with West Valley Drive, there's a hill about 200 yards or less, and I'm telling you, people are capping that doing 70 miles an hour all day long. all day.
Pretty much, when I live in that subdivision, and when I pull out, basically I just have to floor it, because you never know what's coming behind you on that, and to the point of the rock wall, like, there can be real backup problems, because I was trying to pull in when there was a car waiting to go out, and they were having to make sure, they were going the other way than I was, so it's kind of like pointing at each other as to who goes first, but I have nowhere to go when there's somebody who's waiting to pull out, so.
Right. And you gotta manage 70 mile an hour traffic on top of the hill, you know, it just, if you get out there, you need to be able to have two cars side by side, and you just can't do it at both of these entrances. So if we could work on that, that would be awesome, and widen that as well, of course. You know, that one, especially on West Valley Drive, it needs to be widened quite a bit because there's quite a bit more traffic. Thank you. Oh, and continued maintenance, everything looks great. Appreciate your help.
Okay, y'all heard the road work request. We had quite a few more today than we normally have. And do we have any question, concern, or motion to approve?
I'll make the motion to approve road work request as specific.
Second.
Okay, got a motion second. Question. Okay, not hearing any, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, elected officials, Mary.
What was she saying about him coming in May? What I was telling you, we talked to the architect about looking at that building. I forgot who was with me.
I was.
And he said it would be no earlier than the end of May. They're so busy. And that's going to be the case with every one of them. He's trying to finish up this project on the courthouse, and he said he had about 3 or 4 more he had to get out before he could take on another one. But he said he would show up end of May or about the 1st of June then,
That's right.
and look at it.
I looked at it with Ricky this morning, me and Mary did.
Okay, got anything else? Okay, Phil.
See what he says. He is JKS.
Good morning, Court.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. I was yakking there, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I did say good morning.
Take it any way I get it.
You echoed that one, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, I was discussing,
Yeah.
I heard I got one extra. I think it's one extra.
Thank you.
He got one extra there if you short one. There you go.
Okay, we have a total number of 181 in the jail. We have 99 county and 82 state.
It's almost balanced, isn't it?
It's getting there, yes, sir. It's a lot better than it was a few
Just a few months
months
ago.
ago. Yeah, we're working on getting more workers in and more revenue.
Okay, got any questions on this?
It's good.
I have one other thing, if I may. What about the roof?
I was gonna ask that too. I was thinking that when we were,
It's on me the judge had asked me to write up just a request for proposal so he could send that out and advertise it, and I had not done so. I've just been a little bit overwhelmed here lately, but I'll do my best to get that road up for them. Don't take me long, I just gotta sit down and do it. You just need to put a request for proposal to seek, find, determine where the leaks are, fix them. The only thing we know 100% sure is that, I don't know what y'all call that place, but the courtyard with the,
Outdoor rec.
okay, the outdoor rec wall needs to be sealed, and the gutter seams need to be sealed. Those are the two things I know for sure, but where those other leaks are, I can't tell you.
Yeah.
Just seek, find, and fix.
Right, right. I think some of it is around the air conditioning units that's on the roof themselves, because we can see the ductwork, as we've had to remove the ceiling to catch the water. So,
Okay. Does it go ahead and approve it?
I guess that's kind
There's
of,
really nothing to approve, because it's just a request for a quote. I mean, it's not gonna be over 30,000 for sure. So the judge can just send that request out once we type it up, right? You don't have to have the court's approval for the.
well,
request.
no, I don't have to have the court's approval. I mean, the court's already talked about it, and, but we had to have some kind of idea what to put out there. And if you think that will work, just write those 5 words down, and we'll see what we can do.
yeah, I liked your suggestion last time, just put it out like the plumbing
Yeah.
contract, you know, where you don't have to put it out for bids, you got a contract in place, and they can come and fix it without having to
Right.
search for
The
something.
next
to
time
do.
you have a leak, you just call, you know?
Right.
You don't
I
have to
think
come
this,
up here.
we could do both, because we can include that in the annual bids he's wanting to put out, but then get you a quicker result with doing the quote, since we're so far into the fiscal year. So
Okay.
Can you not just put that verbiage into a form of motion where in the minutes where he can just go off that?
If you need to.
I think you all still have to approve the price, and that's the, but once he has that out, he can get the quotes and come back with the price at the next month meeting.
That, we might need some help identifying some people to send it to for quotes.
Okay.
Other than that, we'd have to put it in the newspaper.
Yeah. That's all I have. Any other questions?
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you.
Thank you, Court.
Thank you.
Okay, Steve?
What you on that right there, man?
Good morning.
I've got a personnel action request I wanted to pass around and
I'll let you make that much.
get court's approval for a new hire.
Re-election.
When you say a new hire, is somebody retiring or you just said no?
I had an open position to fill.
Okay.
Pull up Tyler, see if he approves that one or not.
No.
When you need that effective.
March 16th, so it'll be the back date.
March
He started
16th.
last Wednesday.
Checks out.
Where'd he get his experience?
He come from Owensboro Police Department, 3 years experience in Owensboro.
Make the motion that we approve the personnel action request for employee Charles Luke Whitaker to the Sheriff's Department dated 3/16/2022 as the effective date. The base schedule is LC-SO-1, new hire, 1787, with 3 years previous experience credited to them.
Second.
You need that back.
Yeah, I need this one.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Questions? Okay, not hearing any, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
And I just want to, over the recent events that we had the past 4 days with the missing kid, I wanted to give a big shout out to Search and Rescue and the coordination, but Lewisburg Fire allowed us to use their substation as for a command post for those 3 long days. But the effort and the coordination and the communication that there was, that was done with state, local, and federal agency was just unbelievable. But I mean, that all a big part is it comes from you guys, from the support that you give us, but not only the sheriff's office, but Search and Rescue. So I can promise you that those dollars and all that training was utilized for those 3 days. So it was a very humbling experience coordinating with Todd County and Muhlenberg and Warren County. Emergency management directors came and assisted with that. Even Western Kentucky University sent their emergency management director and a meteorologist for that Thursday so they could watch the weather. So, and then the Christian Aid Ministry, phenomenal group of people that came out of Tennessee, brought some amazing equipment that we were able to utilize and track and keep up with things. So it was very humbling to see that. I saw a lot during the tornado, the community coming together, but that was a next level experience that I've never experienced before. So, and again, the fiscal court has a lot to do with that, supporting the local agencies in the county. So I just wanted to thank y'all for that.
Thank y'all for y'all's efforts.
thank
It's
you.
awesome.
Okay, Scotty?
Morning.
The only thing I have today, so we're in the election process. It's really busy right now trying to get everything in place with our new plan for May the 17th. There's just a lot of logistics that we're working on. I want to make you guys aware, I want to make the public aware and the candidates aware that we still have some times, let's just say for early voting, that I know is important for everybody to know. I've been asking the media just to kind of hold up on that because there is a law currently going through the Senate and the House, House Bill 564. That's House Bill 564. If anybody wants to look at that, it's a 75-page cleanup bill from last year's House Bill 574, which put the new election plan into place. So there's a lot of components in there. One of those components is the times of early voting. We think we know as our Board of Elections what they'll be, but we really don't want to release that until we have a tentative direction from the state law. There's also 6 days if someone leaves town that we're going to try in that law to get 6 days of that gap in-house voting for people that are absent. It's not a no excuse. I want to make that clear. It's not like it was in 2020 where it was no excuse, mail or in person. It's gone back to the old. There are 4 components: AIDS, disability, illness, or absent from the county on election day. So if someone does mail in the portal or they do in-office absentee voting, it will have to meet one of those criteria, and they will be signing an affidavit that will be turned over to the grand jury after the election for any findings. I just want to make that clear. One of the components I need your help with is we're having 3 days of early voting. We're going to probably do that for 8 hours a day. Just don't know those times, but we're going to do it 8 hours a day. I need to pay those people. Just need your clearance on that. The recommendation from the board, from what we're paying the poll workers at the $200 rate, would kind of equal out to $12 an hour. So I would like to ask the court to allow me to pay those poll workers. It'll be about 12 of them out here at the new armory for those 3 days of early voting, 8 hours a day. So that's about 96 hours or so we would need for. I'd ask for $12 an hour just so we can get the payroll in the order.
Need that in a motion?
Please.
Yeah.
And what is that a budgetary line item for you, or does that need to come out of a different
No, it
fund?
will come out of the election poll worker budget, so that's already in
you've got
place.
it
This is
budgeted.
just a technicality because it's something new in the new process that we're doing.
Make a motion to allow the $12 an hour pay request for Scotty to pay the poll workers for the 3 days of early election.
Second.
At $12 an hour, please.
That's what I said. Okay, $12.
Okay, well, we got the motion, if we have a second. Okay, Tyler. Okay, any question? I think he's seriously having trouble finding people to work it, aren't you?
It's been a challenge, but
Yeah,
we're gonna have enough. We're gonna make it work.
Okay. Okay, let's have a roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Scotty, we need to, there's only 5 polling places for the county. We need to make sure, because there's a lot of people that still don't know that in the county.
Yeah, so that's gonna be part of the push that's, you'll start seeing from the state here. We're just been holding up on this law.
Okay.
It should be passed this week, so.
Okay, so that's part of the
within-
holdup too.
And as soon as I hear that, it has an emergency clause attached to it, which means as soon as the governor signs it, it becomes law. I've indicated to Chris Cooper at the newspaper and Chris at the radio that I would get that to them ASAP so that they can do their story. There'll also be a push from the Secretary of State office. We'll do other things. One of the things to give people some ease, the locations that were in the previous elections, we will have a sign on each one of those location doors sending people so that someone won't be confused, okay? So just know that if any of your constituents ask that, we will have a sign at each one of those other locations in the previous past to indicate where they can go to vote, and we'll have phone numbers there that they can call us if they're new people in the county.
Okay. All right, thanks a lot.
Yes, Scotty.
Yes, sir.
You're saying we can vote 3 days early before the election, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Can you vote 3 days early before the election day?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
You don't have to have any excuse.
It's 3 days of no excuse.
Okay, that's
Yes.
what I was wondering.
Yeah, so basically it'll be the same as election day. You're just gonna do it.
Other words, there's not many people that can't say I wasn't available then.
Well, and we're gonna use different times, I will tell you that. We're gonna use times that'll be good for people working during the day. We're also gonna use a Saturday hours that will be good for people that work during the week, give them an opportunity, and then they'll have a second opportunity on election day that's gonna start at 6 a.m. also. Okay, so we're trying to make a plan where everybody will have options, and we can try to cover every voter so we don't exclude anyone.
In other words, I can't vote on Thursday, come back and vote on Tuesday then.
Well, and so, glad you brought that
Go to
up.
jail.
Well, I got somebody voted against me.
Glad you brought that up, Earl. I want to explain that really quickly, if I can, Judge. So the poll pads.
I got you.
We used that in 2020 election. You have to have an ID, driver's license or an ID.
That's what I was wondering, though.
Okay? But to go along with that, when they sign in and vote, whether you vote at any of the 5 locations, it's going to be live time through those iPads. They're going to communicate throughout the state, throughout the county, okay? And so, but if you did go, just to indicate to people, there is a felony charge that will be attached to that if someone.
Well, I'm sure it is. Of course, I was joking. But
Well, I want to make it serious. 'Cause that's something that's talked about a lot, and so that's why I want to be sure and cover that so that everybody is very clear on that. If there's any questions, please call me out in the public, any of your
well,
constituents.
that's what I was wondering. How are you going to know Tuesday? How's the election officer going to know they voted?
I'll know from the time you leave Auburn, because we've already tested it. When you leave the Auburn school, if that's where you choose to vote on any of those days, or the new Armory early voting, I'll know when you leave the parking lot pretty much simultaneously. If you were to come to one of Logan County High School, it's going to flag you as already voted,
Oh, okay. It'll show you've already voted.
almost instantly.
Yeah, that really was my question.
Yes, sir. But that is a very serious issue, so that's why I wanted to answer that question. I appreciate you bringing that up.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, department head, Ginger. Okay, Kelly, you got anything?
Yeah, I think our traffic's broke down again. Hello, kid.
I need to get y'all's permission to set bids on the
Old Lewisburg Jericho box bridge.
Okay.
I didn't hear you. They do what now?
Need to open up the bid process on Old Lewisburg Jericho Road box bridge.
So we're putting it out for bid, is that?
Putting it out for bid, yeah.
I'll put that in the form of a motion.
You will? Second.
Now, what's the dimensions of this bridge approximately?
It is, make me get my eyes out. It's 30 foot wide.
Yeah, is
I'm a
that-
firm believer in make it our right of way width wise.
I agree.
Further down the road, you okay. Stood me telling you. It'll have four 4-foot by 12-foot openings in it. But it's a long bridge.
70 foot. That is a bridge. I need a box.
It's put in at a skew, at an angle, and it'll be 10, 20, 70. I'm gonna say right there, but it's about 70 feet. But that's a copy of it. That should eliminate the water running over it every time it rains.
That'd be freestanding from embankment to embankment, or is there something under the center of it?
It'll be concrete piers, in sections. It'll all be one piece, but it'll have 4 openings.
Okay. What Thomas is asking, will there be any supports in here, you
Yeah,
think?
see that picture? That's the side view. See that?
Okay, so they run from one side to the other, them 4 openings go from one side.
You can't span over 15 feet.
Okay. So I reckon it's 11 foot 4 inches in between them, I guess, then, if that's what you, I'll pass that around. But I was wondering the same thing.
Every 11 foot 4 inches will be a sideways all the way across.
I think it's just one. It's just one.
It'll have to be raised up. See, we're gonna raise it 4 feet. So it'll take a lot of field to bring the road up to match the bridge.
What about our tractors? It broke down again?
It's running.
Okay, somebody
That's
said
all
it was
I'm
back
saying.
at,
Well, it broke down, but
Which one's that?
the one that had the side boom on it.
Hudson got it going.
So it was not the pump then this time?
But it's not right. But we're limping along.
Are we still looking at July before we get the other back?
September, August.
Oh, the tractor? The other
No.
tractor.
I'm lost.
April, the end of April.
This is,
I thought the new thing was July, more max.
Max, August
this
1st.
is.
August 1st.
They're gonna start building July 5th. They said it should be
Oh,
delivered
this is a bridge.
August 1st.
Oh, okay.
If they don't have a chip issue, or
Putting it in.
you know how that goes.
They would-
But he's there right now.
Like building a bridge, like you drive through water.
Oh, okay. It's not there now.
No, it's not.
Y'all be down there cleaning that bridge out every other week.
This one,
Huh?
Well, they do now because there's only like 4 12-inch tiles where the water goes through. Or maybe 4
I mean, I'm still for it, I'm just saying, it's,
that's 11 foot opening, each one of them.
Decided yet?
Not saying a big tree won't get in there.
Okay, we had a motion. Did we have a second?
I think Barry said.
You seconded, Barry?
Yes, sir.
Okay, questions?
that'll run through our, matching grant, won't it, at 80/20?
80/20 is according to how the bid comes in. That's one reason we want to go ahead and put it out for bid. Yes, it will, but we don't have the bid to come in, and there could be some money, what I'm talking about, the state talk like if that next year's grant could be worked into this too.
Okay.
So, question? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crisley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Come on, Tyler.
Yes.
Chick,
Slow.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Nathan.
That's like miserable, wasn't it?
You helping me out on
Morning.
the road?
I sent out to y'all about a recycling grant. That's pretty much what I had for today. It's through the state of Kentucky, Division of Waste Management. They offer this grant every year. We've applied for it in the past several times. And this year we'd be seeking radio and newspaper money. It's been a big help in the past to promote our events and just the recycling program in general. And we are applying for $3,500 for that, and I just needed approval for Judge Chick to sign that.
I'll make a motion to allow Judge Chick to sign the recycling.
Second.
What's the, can you use this grant money for anything, like at the center, or?
Well, last year, for example, we got the trailer. The trailer was paid for with that grant.
But like, with our lighting issues? and our-
No, they're not. It has to be pretty specific to recycling, is how they say it. So they will let you have like a, forklift. We've done that in the
Gotcha.
past, things like that. But yeah,
You're
other things like
applying
that,
for,
sadly, we can't.
radio and newspaper
Yeah,
ads. So
yeah.
I'm sorry, Judge.
you're applying for radio and newspaper ads.
Right. We went over the list, Tim and I did, just to see what else we might could apply for, but right now we didn't see anything else at this point. So.
Okay, I know we got a motion. Did we get a second?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Okay. Is there any more questions? Okay, let's have a roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crisley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Golden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
Thank y'all, and just a reminder about that tire event, April 22nd at the Road Barn. And just want to put that out again, and that's really all I had today. If there was some other
April
questions.
22nd, is that what you said?
April 22nd, that
What's the,
Friday,
tell me the times on that.
9 to noon.
April 22nd, 9 to 12. And what's the limit again?
15 tires. Passenger tires, and we said of those 15, 2 could be semi-truck tires.
How many did you say, Dave?
15.
Judge, did you look at where the trailer was setting out at the recycling center? Did you look where the dollies were? Did you ever get by there?
We already put some steel plates down there.
Well, I saw that, but
We talked to Kelly, we went out there and it can be dug out and some more concrete put in there. But we almost have to shut the center down for a couple of days, as far as loading anything. Now, we can pull that trailer out with our truck.
there's no concrete, there's no landing under it, correct? It's just a slab of concrete, or is it just gravel under it?
No, it's right at the edge of the blacktop is where the trailer's hidden.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about, the best I can remember, that trailer's a longer trailer than that dock was built for a dock,
Okay.
is what the issue is. Now, we did put some steel plates out there.
Yeah, they had blocks under it and stuff, but he said, I saw they put 2 steel plates to keep it from going in the ground, but it really just needs to take a backhoe and dig us a footer there and pour concrete where a jacks will set on concrete. Be a lot smoother, because it's
Where is this at?
at the recycle center where the van trailer's packed up to the dock.
I got you. Yeah, it should be easy enough, just cut that out. Call in a bud first, but,
Yeah, let's call that first, but.
Sure you call 811 or go online and do that. Have Kelly go out there with that's concrete pour anybody can do. You just dig a bucket and make your form, make it level, obviously. You gotta follow grade, but make it level where it's set right. dig you a foot, I don't know, how deep's that need to be? 2 foot?
2 foot will be plenty. Might have to put a little rebar in
Yeah,
it.
I say rebar, it needs to be some pretty strong concrete. I don't need to use no cheap mix. 3,500.
But at least you did get steel plates under it, because I was afraid it was fixing to go in the ground.
Talking about where the jacks are,
Yeah.
the jacks.
All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank y'all.
Okay, Ray, do you have anything this morning? Ray's here with the Humane Society.
See, ours is 53 foot. That's the only one there.
Thank you, sir.
And I think there's concrete for it, right? I think it's okay. Oh, you don't, okay.
Hope the court's going good this morning.
Feeling good. How are you?
Pretty good. I'll start off with the numbers here for February. Beginning shelter count was 83 animals. That's 46 dogs and 37 cats. We had an intake of 108 animals. That included 8 ACO pickups, 75 citizen drop-offs, and 25 total owner surrenders. We had 19 adoptions last month. That's 10 dogs, 9 cats. We sent 39 dogs to rescue and 24 cats to rescue. Last month we had 3 euthanasias. It was 1 dog and 2 cats, and we had 8 animals reclaimed from strays. Our ending shelter count was at 97 animals. That's 63 dogs and 34 cats. Are there any questions on those numbers?
That's about full, isn't it?
Yeah, about full. All of our kennels right now are spoken for, except for a select few outside. With the weather being nice, we like to keep them outside, especially it helps us with cleaning the inside as well. But yes, we're almost at capacity. A couple of highlights from the last month. We had our National Adoption Week, which is the last week of February and first week of March. We had an event at PetSmart in Hopkinsville. We had 3 adoptions come out of that event. That whole week, we had about $3,000 in monetary donations, a little over 700 pounds of physical donations, food, litter, things like that. And like I said, we had 9 adoptions total for that week. So out of the 19 adoptions for the month, we had 9 in just the National Adoption Week. So it was a pretty good week. Also, we received from Petco a $5,000 disaster relief grant to help offset the cost and care of the animals that we took in after the tornadoes in December. So that was a big help. Like I said, that goes to their medical costs, the cost of cleaning the shelters. Whenever we have, that many animals in one spot, it gets pretty raunchy, just to say the least. But all that stuff costs us a whole lot, so that $5,000 definitely puts us back on track as far as keeping the shelter clean and taking care of the animals that we have now. I do want to highlight the 96.77% live release rate for last month. I explained a little bit of that and the last time I was here in the court. I believe it was around 95%. We want to get that number as close to 100% as possible. That means out of all the animals, every 100 animals that come through our doors, 96 of them leave with either adoption, go back to the home where they came from, or go to a rescue. With the, I guess the 3.23% that was left, that's animals that have either, had to be euthanized, whether because they're aggressive, they're a danger to the public, or they're, sick and can't be rehabbed. So we're doing good on that. I do expect, just out of an effort for complete transparency, I do expect that number to go down for the month of March with things that's in that packet as well, as far as the floor estimates and the ceiling estimates. We've had a lot of sickness come through this past month with parvo. It's a parasite that attacks the animals, attacks the dogs' insides. It can lead to bleeding in the stool, intestines, coming up in vomit, just a lot of nasty stuff, and it spreads like wildfire. We've had 6 cases in the month of March alone, and that's solely due to the conditions of our building as well. So in that packet, I've gotten 3 estimates for the floors to be sealed. 2 of them are from the same company. I did reach out to another company in Hopkinsville who were unable to get me their estimate before today, but they also have an estimate as well. The first one is for IHN Contracting LLC. That's here locally. Now, this price that he estimated it for, he made sure to stress that this is for the best materials, for the most durable. He can do it for cheaper than this, but this is going to last the longest, what this estimate's for. The second estimates, well, the next 2 estimates are for Performance Floors out of Clarksville. The $11,000 estimate is going to be comparable to the one that you have for IHN. It's going to be about the same material. It's going to be the same durability and length. He said it's going to last about 10 to 15 years. They did provide a cheaper estimate. It's the base price for, you know, the cheapest epoxy and the materials they can use, and that's going to be $8,000.
Okay, was IHN gonna do the grinding that they were gonna, they listed they would do the slab would be ground with 25 grit?
Yes.
And so IHN was gonna do that as well, okay.
So the square footage, I'm seeing maybe a discrepancy between these 2 bids. It shows 1850 on one, and then I'm assuming that's 2625 quantity would be square foot, because I guess that's how you build that type of stuff.
Yeah,
Is he going into like back down the hall and into the cat room as well?
So what I explained to both of them is when we have 2 separate sides of our dog kennel area. It's only the dog area the floors are being sealed. That's the walkways, the hallway between the 2 areas, and inside each kennel as well. I'm not sure why there's a discrepancy.
Won't be done.
The main hallway inside the dog area.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the one connecting the cat and the dog, that area won't be done.
No.
Okay. Yeah, so he may have measured the hole downstairs.
Okay.
I mean, that's, if he's 600 more square feet or 800 more square feet.
Still the cheapest thing, right?
Yeah.
And I'll reach back out to them and just make sure that they have, you know, the areas that we want and see what that discrepancy is.
If there's an area that he's got quoted that doesn't need to be in it, you know, it'd be a little cheaper.
Hey, do you think in the future that we will, when we do this, we'll tear that whole thing?
Absolutely. Bulldoze it all down. I ain't voting for nothing unless it's all gone. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But it still needs to be done. I mean, you know, I mean, you need to go on and sell it, so.
Yeah, because if we start today, it could be 2 or 3 years, you know.
That's
so.
right.
It should have been done 10.
Yeah.
You said something I didn't talk about. You said the ones that were adopted out or go back home where they come from. There's some people decide they want to get rid of a dog or a cat, and then the next week decide they want it back again. Does that happen?
That happens, not very often, but it does happen. You know, circumstances pop up in people's lives and they feel like they can't take care of their dogs. They're thinking they're doing the right thing by bringing them to us just to, you know, give them a new home, but then they change their mind or circumstances change and they want it back. We do that.
Then I guess probably maybe a dog got run off and somebody didn't know he was going to run away. Does somebody else bring them in and the owner find out where it is? I'm sure that's probably happened.
Yes, that happens a lot more than the owners, the owner themselves bringing in the dog and then wanting it back. A lot of the times the dog runs off and somebody brings it
In
to
other
them.
words, then the owner has to pay to get his dog back out, right?
Not on those situations. If it's brought in as a stray, the dogs are put on what's called a 7-day stray hold. That's required by law. We have to give the owner, you know, time to come and reclaim their dog. We have to post it on social media.
That's what I was wondering about, okay.
Are there any more questions on the floor?
This has got a flake.
Do you know if the IHN contracting, if his was the slip resistant?
Yes, he is. He said there's some kind of grout that we can add to it that makes it.
So it's like a grit that you're gonna put in it, I guess. Like the sand grit or something, or
I
grit.
think it's Teflon.
It's a Teflon,
I
okay.
believe that's what it is.
So the trench,
I can't remember.
it's just the fire surface, he won't do anything inside like the trenches and the drainage systems, the.
Not inside the drainage.
I think
So the only question that I have is the discrepancy in the square footage. So I
Okay.
guess if we accept, the local guy, the lowest bidder, I would, like Thomas said, I think it needs to be in the motion not to exceed the price that he's bid, of course, but also to, just to make sure that, he's at $4 a square foot, basically. And that's, competitive with these other two bids. So if we only have 1,850 square foot, I would assume that his rate would still be $4 and that.
I see what you're saying.
So, I don't know.
but not to exceed.
So I'll make a motion to accept IHN Contracting LLC out of Russellville, Kentucky, to accept their bid of not to exceed their bid of $9,450.
Is it last bid? Did you?
It's a different.
It's the low grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that last bit's a
Oh,
totally
that's the
different
metal.
project.
Gotcha.
I second
Oh,
that.
yeah. I see. Yeah. So just on your side, just do the due diligence of figuring that out. So we might be $1,300 cheaper.
Yeah, we'll do.
Okay, this will come out of other county building maintenance. Just want to let the court know where.
What?
It'll come from other county buildings maintenance line item.
Okay. I'm good with that.
And the next thing you have in that.
We got a vote.
Oh,
Who
sorry.
seconded it?
Okay, it was motion made by Jason, second by Tyler.
Thomas.
Thomas, okay. To accept the IHN Contracting LLC's quote of not to exceed $9,450, right?
Correct.
Okay, is there any other questions? Let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Holden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
Right. The next project that we have is concerning our ceilings. If I need to get another quote for this, that wouldn't be any problem. But this particular company is owned by the husband of one of our employees, and he's there 3 or 4 days a week, and he helps us out with small maintenance things. So he's very knowledgeable about the building as well. This is for the install of a metal roofing in our former cat area and in the back area of our dog side, where it's just installation and some of the insulation is falling, and the former cat area, we have fixtures that are falling because there's no roof.
Should have been done a long time ago.
Yeah.
It should have been. Sure we
Explain the, I read that wrong. Never. Okay.
I think we just, the 6% sales tax,
Yeah, we don't pay sales tax, do we?
He does, though.
Oh,
If he's purchasing the material, he pays it.
so he's just,
He's just
Okay.
broke that out for you. but
Oh, okay.
The only way we could get out of not paying
Is
sales
if we
tax
bought
is if
material.
we directly pay for the material, and I wouldn't do that.
Is there any, so when you put that metal up, is there any HVAC ductwork in that area that's going to be covered up?
Yes, there is.
Does any of that need to be repaired or looked at before we close it up?
I would say so, to where cats have gotten up there and, scratch things up. I would say it wouldn't hurt to look at it, just to make sure.
Because once we put that metal, once we put that metal up there,
Yeah.
you got to take it back down to get to it, so.
I think that metal, one time we had a metal ceiling in there and it became a rodent problem. That's the reason that they took it out. They took it out, and now us not knowing anything about it, but it became a rodent issue between the floors.
Okay.
And this is the only quote you got, right?
I'm sorry.
This is the only quote you got?
Yes, that is.
Okay, it really, if we could get another quote or no quote before this is approved, it would be better.
Okay.
Okay.
Will do.
And I think if some of the insulation.
cheap.
Yeah,
But the question is, if we, if we're gonna do it, I'd just soon handle it today and just, again, do a not to exceed price and let the judge and Ray, secure another quote and then move on with the work. If we're gonna do it. There's no sense waiting 2 more weeks.
I think our
3.
administrative code allows that to happen up to $5,000.
Yeah, so we're $46.64.
$4,999, but I'd have to check it out. Okay?
Will do. Yes, sir.
I mean, y'all want to do it? All right, I make a motion to allow the ceiling be installed in the back room and the cat room, total of 1,734 square feet. And as long as the price does not exceed $5,000, then the judge and Ray can work out securing another quote.
I'd like to see the ductwork get repaired too.
Yeah, are you doing the ductwork repair just as a maintenance issue though,
Should be a
right?
maintenance issue before you put the ceiling in, just look, see if it needs insulation or anything.
Yeah, just call and get that done.
Not to exceed what?
5,000,
Well, it'd be $49.99.
$4,900. We've already got a quote for, and I should have made it that, $4,664, not to exceed $4,664. Is that right? Is that the right number? Just the three numbers right there, right? First 3.
Yeah.
Because the other 2 numbers, one was a deposit, and the other one was the remaining balance.
Okay, let's, do we have a second on that?
No.
Thomas made the.
I made some
And a
motion.
second.
Oh.
I'll second it. That's what I was waiting on.
Who seconded
We're trading back though.
Jason.
it? Jason. Okay, is there any more discussion? Okay, let's have a roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Holden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, is that everybody that's in the court right now as far as department heads?
I have one more
He's
thing.
got one more thing.
Oh, okay.
It's not in your packet here. I just have a copy of this bill that's in the Kentucky House right now. It's Senate Bill 125. It has to do with the cost and care of animals in abuse and neglect cases. That's something that definitely affects us, and I just wanted to make sure that the court was aware and anybody listening, the public was aware, because we definitely need this to pass in the House. It was introduced by our district's state senator, Mike Wilson, and it actually went to the House on the 11th of this month. It just has to do with, it creates a new section in KRS 525, which allows for the seizing agency or a holding agency, which would be the Humane Society in these court cases, to petition the court for, basically restitution and, caring for the cost of caring for an animal, or if they need any kind of, medical treatment or severe medical treatment or something like that. It kind of puts the onus on the abuser or the defendant in the case to where they're not getting off scot-free financially in these types of cases. So, like I said, it's in the House right now. It's the prognosis on it is kind of iffy whether it's going to pass or not. I just want to make sure everybody's aware and contact your representative in the House and let them know that you support the bill on our behalf. That's all I got.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, judges' announcements for the day. Let me mark it off so I won't go back to it. Logan County Search and Rescue 50th Annual Fish Fry is on March the 26th, and it's going to be starting at 5 p.m. at the extension office at this Saturday night. It's hard to believe that's been going on 50 years. I probably had a little something to do with it 50 years ago, because I used to help them quite a bit. Russellville Rural Fire Department fundraiser is set for April the 16th at 5 p.m., and it's going to be at the extension office too. Another thing that we got in late yesterday afternoon, and I just want to make y'all aware of this more so than anything. There's an opportunity for some grant funding for emergency the cows tires, and the countywide tornado sirens.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I was talking to Rodney and Terry. We identified a couple of areas that maybe that we could put a couple of these where, and saying this, nothing's been proved out so far on these, but Chandler School was going to allow one out there before last time, and we didn't get it. And then we're looking at somewhere down around the Chaco community that might need a tire, but we'll find out later about this grant, whether we, qualify and that type of stuff. I just want to make you aware of it. Okay, reports. We got any reports at this time of any kind? Okay, not hearing anything. This is the time we set aside in court for citizen participation. I know we got several people in the court today, and if you would like to come up to the court and express your concerns, we ask that you state your name, some vicinity of the county you live in, and we ask that you come forward at this time.
Good morning, Court. Good morning. I'm here sitting back there by Phil Gregory, and he looked down at my notebook and he said, "You're not going to talk about all of that, are you?" And I said, "I plan on it." I've got three things. I'll try to make them quick. Fourth thing may come to mind before I finish. First, I think it would be appropriate if you had copies of the agenda available at the door for visitors. Paul used to do it when he was on the working for the barn out there. He would sneak me one where I'd know what you're really going to do, but I don't know anymore. So that's item number one. Item number two is actually sort of official. I'm a member of the North Logan Conservation District. I'm the director of the Area 2 Conservation District, which is multiple counties. Lonnie over here is a fellow member of North Logan. He doesn't know what I'm talking about. So he's not part of this. He may jump in and be part of it before I'm finished. But this is sort of an official thing. It has to do with our elected officials. It has to do with our budget statewide. And it has to do with local issues, that being the watershed lakes. Now, the budgets, the Senate sent a budget over to the House, and they threw in an extra $5 million. Now, we looked into who is the chair of that committee, conference committee in the House, and it's our very own Jason Petrie. Now, Jason has the reputation of being tighter than Barry Joe when it comes to fiscal matters. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't see how he could be, but that's the word I've heard. Now, what I would like you to do, if you're interested when I finish up my few words, is to call Jason and say, "Hey, I live in Logan County. We have a whole lot of watershed lakes that are getting old. Some of them are at the point of maybe washing out. Some of them are filling up. They need possible emergency work." The Senate budget that was sent with that extra $5 million, that $5 million is leveraged money to make us qualified for some federal money that's big-time money to address those much-needed needs. So if you have any influence with Jason Petrie, know him or know of him, I think he's a respectable young man. He does have a degree from The Ohio State University, and that has a lot of brownie points with me. But I'm going to give you a number. The legislature has a message line. It's 1-800-372-7181. That number will direct you to an individual. If you haven't done it before, they'll ask you a few questions about where you live. But if you've done it before, they say, well, hi, Mr. Ezel, how are you doing? But if you call that number, you can leave a message for Jason. And if you'd like, you can leave it for all members of the committee, the Budget Conciliation, I think is what it's called, but don't quote me on that. And this P566 is the number. Numbers don't mean anything to me like that because there's too many of them. But it has to do with watershed dams. And this is leveraged money. It's not wasted money. It's something that we need within the county. And on behalf of our county conservation districts, I would encourage you to follow up, if you would. So that's item number 2, agenda and watershed lights. Item number 3 is sort of a public service announcement. The library's in a program with the University of Kentucky, and King Simpson mentioned it briefly one time when he was reporting to the board. But I want to bring it up and re-emphasize it. That program makes available to everybody in Logan County, which is a high radon gas area. I mean, if you look at any of the maps, we're in the critical zone. And this program with UK and the local library, Todd County also is involved because they're in the middle of the darkest red zones on the map. But that provides a test kit that you can go to the library and check out. A little enclosed box. It's got an electronic gizmo, and all you have to do is to take that gizmo home, put the batteries in it, find a safe place in one of the lower levels of your house, and leave it for 2 weeks. Make a note every day of what the average daily reading is and come up with the end result at 2 weeks. When I built my house 15 years ago, 16 going on it now, I thought I had done everything I could to protect myself from radon. It's an invisible, odorless gas which gets into your lungs and can cause lung cancer. You've heard of people, Granddaddy never smoked in his life. I don't know how he got, lung cancer. Well, smoking will make it work even faster, but it can cause lung cancer. So I did one of these tests here about 3 weeks ago. At the end of 2 weeks, in my workshop area. Now, I did everything I could when I built that house. I sealed cracks. I put pipe underneath the floor. And my workshop area, I have a little woodworking shop where I tinker and do things old people do. And my level was like 6 point something. Anything over 4 point is considered you need to think about some type of mediation. Little vacuum over the sump pump area, things like that. But the kits are available. If you do discover that you've got a radon issue, there is some money possible. Now, maybe not a lot, but it might be enough that you can do some simple remediation to maybe get that problem under control. So that's sort of a public service announcement. It's simple enough. You go to the desk at the library, say, hey, Ernie said y'all have these radon testing kits. And they'll know what you need, and they'll get you checked out, and you can go from there. But I would advise it, just based upon my home, how I use it. Now, you may not have a problem, but it's worth knowing if you do. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Jason, you look more mature now that your beard's come back out. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you, Ernie.
Okay, anybody else want to address the court? We ask you to come forward again, state your name.
some vicinity of the county you live in. Okay, not seeing any. We'll move on then to new business. First item of business is acknowledgement of the receipt of the jail budget. And I kind of speak on it, and then if anything else needs to come up. The biggest changes in the jail budget so far is where we did our annual increase starting in July. Is some of the changes that the court's already voted on. As far as some of the reimbursements and outstanding prison fee, we didn't put anything in there for income at this time due to we're waiting for a law to pass to make it legal again. So that affected the income about $25,000. If you're going through the budget, what we're expecting in telephone commissions this year is up $25,000. That's due to the grant that we're getting from the inmate telephone service. So that's another $25,000 income. I'm looking at a little bit different paper, but y'all got the paper, same numbers and everything. I'm working off my worksheet. And so not any changes till you get to jail linens. I think they're running a little bit short in linens. Last year we budgeted $7,000. This year we raised that to $8,500 on account of the need for linens. The jail laundry supplies, we raised that $240 from $3,000 to $3,240. Prisoner hygiene items, which it looked like that if we go through this year, we're going to over expenditure that line item. So we went from $8,000 to $10,000. The jail telephone, we raised, one reason is that one hardwired line we're going to put in there. We raised that line item to $10,003. I don't see any changes till you get to our public properties cooperative principal and bonds, and the payment on the bonds last year was $290, this year was $305, and that's according to the schedule. But the other side of it, the interest went down from $34,538 to $22,638 according to schedule. And the rest of the changes are payroll related. So are there any questions?
Make a motion, we acknowledge the presented budget for fiscal year 22-23 for the Logan County Jail.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second to acknowledge the receipt of the budget. Question? If anybody in the court's wondering why we pause for a second, you gotta wait for a bull ride. You're supposed to wait somewhere 8 seconds on a vote. So, anyhow, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Trigg.
Yes. Okay, next item of business is the ambulance service bid. And these, got one bid again this year from ComCare. And I guess we want to go ahead and open that. We advertised it. And so.
I'm gonna
maybe I guess that's what we're looking for in your pocket knife.
Huh?
There's no special.
For some reason, I was thinking it was,
It was 180.
maybe we did it last month.
Jim Bell won't come forward.
I think we did it the first of the month. I think it was on last month.
Good morning.
You know what I'm saying?
Today.
You wanna let John come up here with you?
I've always let John come anywhere he wants.
Come on, John.
Okay, it looks like the bid is $204,264 with 12 equal payments of $17,022.
He's got a copy right there for you. We got a copy right here.
We got copies of it?
Yeah, I brought
Okay.
some.
You brought copies.
I should re-say, John put us together, so.
Better check your figures in.
I did. I want to thank the court for letting us bid again this year. I think this will be the 14th year that we've operated the service here. And Judge Chick, I guess this will be my last time coming before you, and I just want you to know it's been a pleasure working with you and the court. You guys have always done it the right way. And I tell other courts, you know, do this early before you do your budget. And you all have always done it the right way, and it's good working with good courts.
Well, maybe we're gonna get the parking lot paved before
Oh,
you
we'll
retire.
get there.
I talked to Nathan, and that's supposed to be one of the first jobs they do this year.
Okay,
They
good
can,
deal.
Get everything coordinated with y'all as far as being able to get up in front of the building.
We feel fairly confident that we're hopeful that we've got COVID pretty much behind us. You know, 2021 was a little more normal year than 2020 was.
Make a motion to accept the bid from Comcare on the annual subsidy of $204,264 payable in 12 equal payments of $17,022 beginning of each month. This new bid reflects a 4.5% increase from previous year comparison.
Mr. Boland, that was pretty much fuel. You know, we're expecting fuel prices to be.
I completely understand that. It
I
seems
understand quite a bit
reasonable
higher.
to me. Y'all provide an excellent service. I know it's always a stressful thing, and you're always going to have some complaints, you know, every now and then, but when we have them, y'all address them, and we appreciate the service y'all provide. It is top-notch, and just appreciate what y'all do.
Well, thank you, and it's all because you have good people here. It's all about those folks. It wouldn't matter if it's Comcare or not. It's all about those guys that work there, John and the crew, and you've got some really top-notch people here. They do a good job. I wish we had a few more of them, but I think we're all in that issue. Right now, it's hard to find people, you know, in the workforce, but the ones you got are excellent. I will put them up against anybody, anywhere.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, got a motion and a second to accept Comcare's bid. Question.
16,289 a month.
Okay, not hearing anything, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Hartford,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I guess my question to you is, that statement you made at first, is that cause I'm retiring or cause you're retiring?
Well, maybe both of us.
Maybe both of us?
Whether I retire or not, and I like to think about it from time to time, but Comcare will still be here for you. I promise you that.
Thank you. Thank you, John.
Okay, next item of business is open bid for courthouse lead paint abatement where needed, and we had 2 bidders on this. Just gotta remember, if we take it out, we gotta remember we gotta put it back. Okay, I got one from CNC Contracting. Let me get my letter open out here again.
I ain't gonna like it, huh? Postpone it to next year.
Don't worry, that.
Keep on going yet?
Mark took the time to, walk everybody through here that we have
Last
to.
week's the week.
Mark,
That's the way to do it.
the bid from, them was $64,375.
Shazam.
What's that?
Laws me. Yeah,
Don't tell me.
I'm for covering that up.
Okay, we got one other bid. I don't know exactly who it's from till I get the envelope. Wyman Construction and Excavation Company, Scott Sailorsville. Sailersville. Is that how you say it? Sailorsville.
John didn't leave yet. Barry might be having some issues
Hold him
over there.
back.
Call
Get the
the
defibrillator
ambulance.
out.
Call the ambulance people back.
We got one outside my office.
Okay.
We had a big,
We'll keep it over in the high stress area.
we had a big discussion at church.
The red
My
zone.
office in front of the child support office.
That's
there,
right.
you're probably right.
Good job.
Most stressful places where
They
it
just
needs to
left.
go.
They were sitting right there. Yeah, they just left.
That was amazing.
Skipped out.
What's that second one?
20% less, if that helps you any.
Tyler, don't lose that envelope.
Y'all gonna think I'm a Republican here, talking about how tight I am.
It don't matter at this table.
I didn't either. I thought it was a team.
Can we just paint over top of it?
Yeah,
I guess
yeah,
that's
you
why
can,
we don't think.
but you can't patch the plaster.
No,
That's the
they're
problem.
pulling- They're pulling all of that down.
Don't paneling look good?
And they're doing a bunch of work down there too.
I mean,
Square feet is this?
can we not just cover it up with something else?
Of course, this outfit out of Lexington.
Say that again.
What's the?
Blew that. To make sure it's,
Rough, things rough in my world, boys.
make sure that defibrillators are charged up.
Like I'm in the wrong business.
I guess.
Defibrillator don't work, at least we got Mary here.
There you go.
I want to table, I don't want to make a decision today. Yes.
Automobile warranty.
I can't remember. They didn't have any square footages. I thought it was just these two sides.
What's being done downstairs?
Well, there's one place right there where you come in the door, right there at the judge's office, that it's pretty good hot there. You know what I'm talking about, up there close to the steps. There's some stuff right there at the door where you come in, if you look up, it's gotta be removed. There's some other places that, the paint's peeling.
Is there anything thin that you can put on top of that?
They gonna have a vacuum system set up, sucking this stuff?
No, I mean like,
The biggest two areas is both sides of this courtroom. But there's about 15, 20 spots, I think, in the building that's got,
ship
Leave it alone. Don't touch it.
Yeah, Judge, I'd like to make a motion that we table this to speak with our
Architect.
counselor there in science and maybe reevaluate what we need to do moving forward. That's just a whole lot more than I was expecting. Was it you? Yeah, maybe. And two trains of thought, being this is so high that I've got. One, is there another way of handling this? And B, if you're, you know, when you're in that business, there's a big cost to what we call in the industry mobilization. So it's your setup, it's getting your dumpster, it's lining your dumpster with plastic, it's getting your on-site, you know, air quality stuff, sealing off all these entrances, you know, while it's being done. Well, if it's $48,000 to remove these 2 spots, what would it cost to just remove it all and we're done? You know what I'm saying? Because you've already done the fit up of mobilization, and if you have to come back 2 years later and fix some more spots, so we might need to address getting this lead free in this room once and for all. Same thing downstairs. If you take that $48,000 and 20 of it is mobilization, it's probably a high number. 15 of it's mobilization. That mobilization doesn't matter if it's a $10,000 job or a $100,000 job. It's $10,000 for mobilization. So we might want to make sure we're getting the best bang for buck. Because I'd sure hate to spend $50,000 to do a spot on that wall, a spot on that wall, and a spot downstairs.
Well, it's
In
2
five-
spots around the courthouse.
Yeah, and 5 years later, have to turn around and do it again, and it'd be another $50,000.
I think it looks good.
So let's, my recommendation would be just ask a few more questions before we accept the bid. And if everybody's good with that, I'll put that in the form of a motion to table it.
Is the ceiling paint lead too?
I have no idea. I would have to assume so.
Work is.
But you know, the problem's only if you get into it, you know, so it's a good question, you know, can you remove that ceiling tile? Yeah, you're getting into it. What we would have to do to prep it before, I think you could paint that, then take that ceiling tile down, you've encapsulated that, it's no issue of it becoming, they call it, friable. I think it's friable is the term, meaning it's airborne. But anyhow.
Well, of course, we've had an architect working on the other part.
Yeah, and right, that's not doing the whole project, that's just removing the lead, and then you gotta have the bids for doing the patchwork.
That's not included in it?
No, that's just
Oh, that's
removing the lead.
just removing the lead.
That's just removing the lead, that's another bid for doing the actual work of patching those holes and painting.
You want one of my aspirins? Wow, okay. I think Thomas is right. I think we need to table it and think about this a little bit. See what we're gonna get
It's no
into.
emergency, it's not a leaky roof or a busted water line, you know. Let's ask a few more questions and make sure we're.
That's right, because you're right. If you do that spot and then the next one comes up, you gotta turn around and do it all again. So we need to,
I got a
we need a little
question.
more
Is there more than one
answers.
consultant we can go to?
Well, the consultant, all he did was write up the spec. I mean, he determined that it was lead, our architect determined it was the lead. They don't deal with lead abatements, so we hired InScience. All InScience did was write a scope of work for to be done for those contractors. So all InScience did was write what work was to be performed. If you went to another consultant, he's just gonna write the same thing. You know, it's nothing different.
Okay.
InScience is not doing anything.
Well, I'm not
other-
trying to go into them.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get more involved in it to where there's other people that has the knowledge of it.
Yeah,
Is
we
there
need to-
anyone out there?
Well, let's start with Mark and ask him what our other options may be.
And then these bids, we just table them.
Yeah, I
But
know.
if we change them,
We'll just rebid.
we just have to rebid it. Okay. All right. Did you put that in form of
I
motion?
did.
Do we have a second? If not,
Yeah.
I will second that.
Okay, I didn't look on those bids, whether they're good for 30 days or,
Yes, I know one of them was 30 days, but it should be whatever we advertised, which was probably 30 days.
It doesn't say.
Yeah, I know the Circle C does. It's at the very bottom, right here on this one,
Oh.
very bottom, right there.
It's a hell of a lot of money.
Oh, okay. Good for 30 days.
I'll be sure we got clarification on both of them, but I'm sure that,
The CNC is 30 days.
You see that one? Or maybe one.
Well, our bids, the bid request we put out probably said bids must be good for 30 days. That's pretty typical. I don't see it on here, but I bet you it's 30 days. You had the advertisement. I could tell you, you had the advertisement from Men's Science. Is it in our package?
I don't think it doesn't say them when they put it in paper.
Yeah, it didn't say.
y'all got the whole proposal there in front of every one of you.
Yeah, our request for bids did not have a time on that. Still want to table it regardless.
Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport?
Yes.
Crossley?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Harper?
Yes.
Kyle?
Yes.
Golden?
Yes.
Chick?
Yes. Okay, if we don't get it done, I'll turn it over to the new judge. I'll turn it over to the new judge when he takes office if we don't get anything done.
Judge, can we take a 5-minute break?
Yeah.
Well, sure we can.
Hey, Jack, they didn't have nothing.
Everybody come out there.
Let's wait for Tyler to get us turned back on.
Sardines and crackers.
Live at Libby's.
Okay, next item of business is,
You going to a sale?
Yeah, going to Iowa Saturday.
Going to Iowa Saturday?
Yeah.
Look for me a conversion rate.
next item of business is discuss the request of Logan County Fair Board, and you got a letter in front of you requesting $7,500.
That's the court.
But it-
Lonnie, I think the county, we want it to be a bronze sponsor. Right here.
Your individual sponsors.
That's for Jason.
Yeah, that's for Jason. Sponsors.
Gonna be a what?
I said a bronze sponsor.
I thought we was just a fair sponsor.
You have a letter in your folder that is from the fair board.
Yeah, you gotta dig a little deeper. What's this one here?
Figures are wrong on it. I think it's supposed to be 10 to 7.
That's what we make airplanes out of.
Did we skip a year?
We had fair
Yeah,
last
we
year.
had fair last year.
The year before.
I was just.
I think we were less.
I think you did contribute that, and that's why we didn't say nothing about last year, right, Amanda?
It carried over.
It carried over.
That's what it was, yeah.
So, we have 7,500 budget.
We got 7,500 budgeted.
We-
Last year,
Of the letter
we
there,
gave them a little bit
any
more because we
increase
didn't have it the year
contribution
before.
Would be greatly
But we
appreciated.
gotta be careful about what we do.
Have that outside track, but then.
By next year, I can't officially say anything about that until we find out from the carpenter what they're gonna do. I know they're gonna. Now, the court went up there, any up, another amount.
I think for this year, we need to do the 7,500, and if we want to talk about other, talk about that at budget time.
Is that a motion?
You with him, but I'm thinking.
I was just asking him if that was a
I was
motion.
just thinking out loud, now Robert Earl's thinking out loud.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, we got 75 budget, but if we just put that budget and never raise it on anything, then just whatever we decide at the first of the year, then there's no need of nobody coming back and hoping we'll raise it a little.
Well, it was 5,000, I think it was 5,000 before that, right?
2,500.
Oh, it's 2,500. Oh, it's new.
Oh, okay, so okay.
Yeah, I think what, 3 years ago or so, we raised it to 7,500 from, I guess, 2,500. I thought.
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
my
okay.
question was, I read this last night,
I agree with Jason, I think we do what's budgeted, and if we want to have conversations about increasing that, we'll have that as part of our budget discussion.
next year, this, whatever we do, then, July, isn't it?
Well, it's coming up, we'll be talking about the budget.
Usually in May.
Okay, in May, all right.
Yeah, I'll put that in form of a motion that we give the Logan County Fair Board $7,500.
Second.
And we can use the
Barry
bottom
second.
too.
Yeah, it's been great the past, I mean,
Thomas.
Everybody second.
we got to do roll call on it, everybody second that.
Okay, now, I guess we just need to put in there, approve the right check at the next meeting.
Okay.
And, okay, any just more discussion?
No, we appreciate it, we really do.
Thank y'all for what
Thank
y'all
y'all.
do.
Okay,
Well,
let's,
Tom,
Good
it's all
meeting.
in it too.
We do have several fair sponsors. I did give you all a copy of this as well. We do have several people that do a fair sponsorship. Several local businesses that will come and sponsor specific events. This year, we are planning on hopefully having wrestling, demolition derby, tractor pull, and monster trucks as some of our big items. We are hoping also on June the 18th to go ahead and have an opening weekend to the fair to showcase like our local vendors and stuff of that nature. You know, people have products that are made here locally that they can come that day. We'll have farmers market. We hope to have as many things going on the extension campus as possible that day to have a big opening weekend to the fair. So we do have some new plans this year to get a few more things going.
And I guess, I think most of y'all know, we did get a state fair board grant for $100,000, right? It's a matching.
It was, so far with that grant, we have already gotten a new ticket booth built. It's ready. It will be out there at the fair. Logan's been working with the PSK.
On the lights.
On the parking lot lighting.
They hope to start on the lights probably about the 1st of April. They're hoping, putting everything up.
So we hope to have all that in place before the fair this year. So we are moving in the right direction and have a lot of good things going on out there right now.
Is that the new building that's there, the ticket booth building?
Yeah.
The big one?
Well, it's really not complete, but it's pretty well done. I mean, we gotta do some audio, we gotta put some stuff in.
So that's it though?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
It's a big
The
building.
little buildings are going over to the next gate project.
All right, good deal.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
We do appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Okay, next item of business is to pass, to approve the annual standing order for pre-approved certain reoccurring expenses for the fiscal year 22-23. And what this does, fiscal court may adopt an order to pre-approve payment of monthly payroll, utility expenses, debt payment, lease payments, and CDBG grant expenses. No other expenses shall be pre-approved pursuant to the subsection without the written consent of the state and local finance officer. The fiscal court of Logan County, in accordance with law, hereby orders reoccurring expenses for monthly payroll, utility expenses, debt repayment, lease payments, and CDBG grant expenses to be paid when due for fiscal year 22-23.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Okay, got a motion and a second. Now, is there any questions? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, the next item of business is discuss extra funding needed for grant match at Russell Logan County Airport. I don't know where y'all got my figures there or not, but what we did, we gave the airport $19,000 as the annual contribution. We put $10,000 in there for the grant match. With this bill that they presented of 6468, we've got 2494.24 left in the budget line item. So it's going to take $970.44 difference that we'll need to take out of probably, can't think of the name of the line item right now, I'm going blank, but contingency somewhere to add to this line item to make this grant payment match. And this is for the T-Hanger construction out there. And at the first of last fiscal year, they didn't have any idea that any of these grants for sure was happening. So I put a figure in there of $10,000. And so we need $970.44 more in that line item.
Okay.
Now, first thing, you got to approve the grant match and then approve the transfer of the $970.44. I guess the way we do it in a manner. We approve the grant match and then we approve being able to move the money from occupational money to this line item.
So you want two separate motions, or you want them in one?
Are we paying that money out before the next fiscal court meeting?
Do what?
Will we be paying that money out before the next fiscal court meeting?
No, I will pay it at the next fiscal court meeting.
Okay, then that.
But
will
I
be
want
on-
y'all to understand where it come from.
Yeah, it'll be on the budget transfer list, so we don't actually have to do that.
So I guess I'm confused I'm supportive of it, I just need to know what motion you are needing, motion.
Well, the motion we need is go ahead and pay this 34, 64, 68,
So moved.
grant match.
Second.
Need to get the court to approve doing it.
I'm with you.
Okay, is there any questions? I think we're gonna be in the same shape this year. They don't know what's gonna be available, at the time we're doing the budget. I think there's some money promised, more money promised through the transportation department this year. But they don't know when, if, and but till the legislation, what I'm talking about, is over with, and then some kind of notice put out on it. Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport.
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Kyle.
Yes.
Bolden.
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, next item of business is approve the reappointment of Carol Brown into the East Logan Water District for a 4-year term, 3/13/26.
So moved. Second.
Okay, question. If there's none, let's have roll call.
Davenport.
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Kyle.
Yes.
Bolden.
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, next item of business is to be able to talk to our bond counsel. Charles, how am I gonna try to say it?
Muscle.
Joe, do we, any thought?
I would do preference of the court. I know some of the things maybe need to happen in closed session, but there was also some desire to have open session for parts of it. So would you rather go into closed session first and then talk about the stuff in open session, or vice versa?
What do we go,
Yeah, I would want to do the closed session first, personally, and then.
So there was a need for closed session?
Well, I mean, you asked him to talk with you about certain things that would be a part of potential, I mean, if you're still considering these and still potentially negotiating any terms of it, you want to be able to ask him that in a setting free from, the other party for one, but just so you can, I'm not going to advise my clients in public typically.
So I make a motion, Judge, we go into closed session under the KRS allowing us to go speak to legal counsel.
KRS 61-810-1G regarding conversations or negotiations with a public agency in a business concerning a proposal.
That one right there.
Second.
Jason Hart.
Thank you.
Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport.
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Kyle.
Yes.
Bolden.
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, we're back in the regular session. Do we have a motion?
Judge, I'd like to just make a motion that we table the future discussion of the industrial revenue bonds until we get a little more information back from our legal counsel and have opportunity to discuss a few things with Silicon Ranch. And
And you're going to allow as part of that to have Jason and yourself be in discussions?
if that's okay with Judge, yes.
Yep. Barry seconded.
Okay, I think you understood the motion, didn't you? That involved Jason.
Decision.
Just table the decision on the industrial revenue bonds until we seek further information from our legal counsel.
wall.
And to allow Judge Chick, Jason, and myself to speak with Silicon Ranch.
It's like me, he's like, I don't plan
Along with Joe
anything.
Ross.
Yeah. Joe,
Now it's 1 o'clock.
that's a given, isn't it?
Unfortunately for you all, yeah.
Have you missed your?
Okay, y'all heard the motion. Is there any discussion? You got it all written down?
More or less, yeah, I know.
Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport.
Yes.
Crosley. Yes. Wright.
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Kyle.
Yes.
Bolden.
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, I guess that took care of item number 9. So won't be taking any action on that. And number 10, we just need the court to approve us putting out the annual bids for next month.
Motion to approve. Second.
Okay, is there any questions? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport.
Yes.
Crosley. Wright.
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Kyle.
Yes.
Bolden.
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Post agenda.
I did have one thing quick, and this is kind of wanting to have a little coverage for me to sign something based upon kind of how the county attorney's office is structured to where my employees, at least Elizabeth specifically here, kind of falls under multiple hats. There's a student loan forgiveness plan through the federal government that has a full-time employee requirement, which is basically 30 hours a week. She works well beyond that, but since it's not clearly designated necessarily that all of those come from the state, there's not necessarily an HR person that would be authorized to do that. It provides that a person can be employed by multiple groups, and that's where she would fall in. She is employed by Prosecutors Advisory Council, you all. She works in the Child Support Office, and she works in the Commonwealth Attorney's Office. And it basically says someone who has access to her employment records and service records who is authorized by the employer to do so. I'm merely asking that you all authorize me to do that if I can verify that she works the minimum number of hours per week, which I can attest that she does, but it would still be my name on it. It would just be you all allowing me to do that in this situation as Logan County Attorney for a Logan County Attorney employee.
So moved.
Second.
Who seconded it?
Barry.
Barry.
Okay,
It's
you
to apply
got,
for student loan
I
forgiveness.
can follow up with you.
Huh?
I'll write it out for you if you
Okay,
want me to.
appreciate it.
okay, y'all heard post agenda motion. Is there any questions? Okay, if not, let's have roll call.
Davenport.
Yes.
Crosley. Yes. Wright.
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Kyle.
Yes.
Bolden.
Yes.
Chick.
I have
Yeah.
to go right now, so if y'all want to do that, just do it. I'd really do it now.
I've got a post agenda item.
For this meeting?
Yeah, unfortunately. It'll take a second. I'd like to request that we have a road hearing for 415 feet on Bryan Road. Me and the judge and Kelly went out there,
And the homeowner.
and the homeowner went out there, and in the past, we have evaluated the entire road, but 415 foot of it. It's part of a subdivision off Newtown Road. The rest of it's already on the county, just a little piece that goes up the hill, there's 3 houses on it. 415 feet of it is fine. It's attached to Baldwin Circle. And we got a plat over here, if anybody wants to look at it. We're going to use the plat, and it's 415 foot on Bryan Road.
Second. You did, that was a motion?
Yeah.
Second. Oh, what is it?
Kelly's said it's good to put paving on it, 2-inch base.
And it's been platted.
Yeah, it's been platted.
Okay, well, a motion second to set up this road hearing. Is there any question?
I guess that'll be at the next meeting, right? At the next court meeting?
Yeah. Okay. Let's have roll call then.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley. Yes. Wright. Yes. Harper.
Yes.
Kyle.
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.
Chick.
Yeah.
Are we through?
You're up.
I make a motion with adjourn.
Second. Jason second.
Thank you. Johnny gave me his book, man.
Don't get too relaxed. We ain't voted on it yet.
I mean, he gave it to me, I didn't back. I wouldn't take $7 for it. I think about it, I bring it sometime, show you.
Okay, let's have roll call. Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley. Wright.
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Kyle.
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.